So I'm going to just make a quick video here about just technology, education technology in general, and then related to that, just how GEC is trying to stay ahead of this new encroachment by AI and the challenges that presents to education entities per se. So first of all, in a sort of a legacy scenario, any programming language, I would say, like for example, we did a LMS called MindPocket back in the day. It's actually still alive here. Let me show it to you. MindPocket. Oh, come on. MindPocket. There it is. Yeah, so we built this back in the day. A really powerful system, actually. It's still a nice platform, which is under GEC ownership at this time. You might recognize some of the artwork. I won't go into that. but basically, we used a version of PHP here that's about 6 years old. 5 to 6 years old. Now there are new capabilities available now that won't run on the old version of PHP, for example. And so if I wanted to deploy one of these new capabilities, I would have to update this entire website to maybe the latest version of PHP. And if I try to do that, if I try to just replace the old version of PHP with the new version, a lot of the functionality inside this system will break, and I'll have to spend months trying to chase down all of the problems, And so what I'm saying here is that there's about a 7-year revision cycle for basic programming languages like Ruby or PHP or C, because new versions come out. Now, at the same time, we have this temporal differential between AI technologies and programming language technology, where in AI technology, every 6 months or so, it's just you have a whole new paradigm. And so there's a dissonance between these two temporal streams, right? Well, something happened in 2023. Basically, the advent of OpenAI's, well, first of all, these are both softwares, right? AI technologies and programming languages are both softwares. And regarding hardware, programming languages run on CPUs and server software, but AI technologies run on GPUs. So this is a hardware paradigm, and this is a software paradigm, right? The software has to run on GPUs. There's too much math going on, There's too many parameters, too much to crunch. So you need a super fast hardware, which is your NVIDIA chip, your graphic cards. And however, NVIDIA is working on something that I believe within the next year is going to begin massively changing the paradigm, where we don't do programming, we don't do computation with CPUs anymore. It's just the cost of all this is going to come down to the point where we have a whole new software paradigm. We have a new hardware paradigm that matches to our new software paradigm. See, this is the old software paradigm. I should say, not here. This is the old software paradigm. This is a new software paradigm, and now we have a bifurcation between the hardware that drives this, CPUs basically, and the hardware that drives this, GPUs basically. And this gap is going to be closing soon. It's going to change to become where everything is running on GPUs, because NVIDIA has their strategies of driving the costs down and making fast compute more cost effective. So as those gaps close, we have technology challenges, right? And any information entity, any company that is information based, which is pretty much every company these days, I think. But they're going to be challenged by the change of the technologies. So what can we do about that then? From GEC's perspective, there are two things that we've done in order to prepare for this, and this is something that I actually planned, 3-4 years ago as we were getting into this, starting this project. So we've been, for almost 3 years, we've been doing massive development every month and massive releases every month. I mean, big ones. So the GEC system is quite an enterprise right now. But there's two basic technologies that I want to show you that I'm trying to bring together here. Okay, so the first one is where you simply come in here to an ebook. I've got a 5-page ebook, and when I define the ebook, I have also defined all of the problems automatically. The reading problem, the listening problem, open-ended writing and open-ended speaking, open-ended writing and prompted writing, open-ended speaking and prompted speaking. 6 different problem types that are just automatically generated from just creating an ebook. Okay, all the assets for all the problem types and all the settings for all the problems are in lessons and stuff are in here. And so when we create this one ebook page, we also create a ton of lessons. So that's all the problems are here. So this would be page 5 of the ebook. We generate this ebook. I think we just updated the server. Let me pause and clear my cookies. Okay, just logging back in. So, like I was saying, we go to page 5 of the ebook, and this is the ebook environment which we generated. But from this content comes 6 different questions, right? No, actually, 6 different questions for this, 6 for this, and 6 for this. So that is, that's 18 questions based on this. And then remember, we have 4 versions of this, so it's 18 times 4 questions, which are automatically generated from this ebook. And then also what is automatically generated is this essay building environment, where we can have the students come in here and pick pick how they want to what assets they want and how they want to create this essay. So that's all generated from one simple ebook, and that's been a strategy of mine. I actually wrote up a patent about that and everything, and it's all registered as IP, that you have a system where all you do is you create the ebook and it auto generates content, basically. So this is this auto generation of lessons. Now you can imagine how long it would take. You've got 15 problems in a lesson. You've got 4 versions of that lesson, right? So 15 times 4, that's 60 problems. But then you have 6 versions of each problem, so 60 times 6, and it represents one lesson. And that's how we can do our adaptive technologies so well, because we have that richness. And you couldn't do it by hand. It has to be automated. So there's this automated curriculum development. Now there's more to say on that, but I don't want to go too far with it. But the second thing we're doing is we have an integrated development environment for our technology, or our AI services, and we don't want to build these AI services hard-coded into our web pages. Instead, we want to say, okay, in the Student Lab web page, I want to create 3 different AI tasks. And these AI tasks are going to be doing different things inside the Student Lab. So here's the task for the problem statement, the task for the problem body I haven't done yet, and the task for this feedback I haven't started defining, but for the problem statement here. This is 3 different tasks. And inside a task, I can choose which model I want to use. I can develop the prompt and the pre-processing and post-processing protocols. Here's the prompt editor that gets fed into GPT-4 in this case. It says find the errors in the sentence and list them. Do not explain, just list the errors with short labels. And then if I process this, I'm going to get in my response editor down here, so it's what we call this. I'm going to get, as soon as this is done running, I'm going to get hers is an incorrect pronoun, friend, the spelling is an error, did is incorrect past tense verb, right? So it's giving me these outputs. Alright, that's fine, that's step 1. What if I want to process this more? Then I can actually create a new process called step 2 down here. Then maybe I want to use right shift or GPT-3 this time. And here's the settings for these models. If we want to change the temperature or token count or whatever, then I can define step 2. So I'm going to take output from here maybe, and I'm going to use it in here and run it through another AI model. And if I want to do more, well, I can just simply add a 3rd step, a 4th step, a 5th step, and we can do intensely detailed AI services that are not, they're not built into the web page. They're auxiliary to the web page. So we don't want to hard code all of our AI services into this, this paradigm. And I will say that even though this used to be 7 years, it's probably more like half of that, 3.5 years now, because it's not just the software paradigm that's changing, it's also the hardware paradigm. So and as a final point, 2 final points. First of all, what we're trying to do is bring this development environment for AI microservices delivered from outside the web page, delivered into the web pages, and also we can go to these web pages, these curriculum builder pages, and we can start to auto-generate more. We can start to do more powerful things with auto-generating of lesson content. Okay, so we're trying to bring these 2 worlds together, and like I was going to say, the last thing I would say is that these are all proprietary models which we have to pay for, but there are also many open source models like Llama 2 or Beluga 2 or Wizard 2 uncensored, or some of these API smart models like Gorilla. We can add them all in here, and we can just use them for whatever process that we want to, whatever step in any process that we want to do for any task inside any web page.